Well, it was a good stretch for us. We talked about 9 days, 3 wins, and the guys were able to do that, and they got 2 good days off. And coaches got to hit the road for some recruiting, in particular me, because I don't get out much when we're in season. So I don't know if coaches got rest, but players got some rest, and we've had a couple days, 2 or 3 days of really good practices, and we got 2 more before we hit the road. Very difficult stretch. This is, I think, we're one of about 3 teams that have our first 7 games, 5 of them are on the road. So you either can make hay and put yourself in a good situation, because you know that later on in February, those 7 games, 5 of them are going to be at home. And so this is a pivotal road trip for us, and we're playing 2 contrasting styles in Oregon State and Oregon. So it's going to be a big week.
How's the health of the team at this point?
Beat up a little bit, which is kind of surprising, because we didn't see any of that after the USC game. But obviously Tony still battling some back spasms, so he's kind of day to day, and we're working to see what's going to happen there. But I think other than Tony, everybody seems to be pretty good.
With the back spasms, is that similar to what he's kind of experienced throughout his career, or is it something that's a little different?
I don't know. He hasn't had much since I've been here with him. He hasn't had any really serious back problems at all since I've been here with him. So his freshman year, if he did, I wasn't here at that time. Last year, he didn't really have much. He never set out practice, never missed a game. So we just got to see. But, at 6'9", 255, 260, back spasm can be problematic. So we just wanted to get it calmed down before we get him back in there.
Did that flare up during the game?
No, I had no issues during the game. Actually, it was just over the weekend. It was over the weekend when it flared up. So his 2 days off were great. And then we got back together over the weekend and really only doing individual work. So it was non-contact stuff, and it flared up at that time.
Are you anticipating him being able to practice today or tomorrow?
I don't know. I have not seen anybody today. So he was day-to-day yesterday, and I'm sure he's going to be day-to-day tomorrow, and today and tomorrow. He'll probably be day-to-day, and it'll probably be a game time decision on that.
Oregon State is 10-0 at home.
Right.
What do they do so well on that court?
Well, they really defend you, so here we are again in this tough stretch of really going against a lot of good defensive teams. You look at Alabama, you look at Kentucky, Gonzaga, Utah, Colorado. This has just been a really demanding stretch from really good defensive teams, and here comes another one. Right now I think they're ranked #1 defensively in our league, and that's part of the reason why they've had a lot of success. They're going to throw a lot of zone at us, some pressing. So you got to make some shots, and you got to take good shots and find ways of getting it inside. But they've been really good at home. Already gotten a win over Arizona at home. So this is a really good basketball team, especially in their building. And then 2 days later, not even 48 hours, you're getting a team in Oregon who wants it to be as fast as possible. So we're going to get contrasting styles in both games.
They seem to have kind of surpassed expectations this year. What is it that Coach Tinkle has done just in these 18 games?
That's hard because I've only coached against him once when I was in New Mexico in the NCAA tournament, and he was a hard out then. I think he does a good job of controlling the game offensively and defensively. It's not going to be an up-tempo style. It's going to be very controlled. They want you to run clock on offense, and then they're going to run clock on offense. So you don't have as many possessions in the game. So it's a much more controlling, different type of style, and he does a really good job with it, and they've gotten out of the gate very well.
With that style and with Tony potentially hurting, is that where you kind of need Thomas to step up and have a big
Yeah, regardless, Thomas's development's got to continue, and we saw that against USC. I thought, it was his best game out of the 3 in this 3-game package, and we've been seeing it. Thomas is getting better and better, and if that's the case, if somebody is down, and it's not just Thomas, it's everybody that's got to pick up slack. If all of a sudden minutes are down for a certain individual, the next guy in's got to be able to play, and that's what you end up happening in January and February. We were very fortunate last year where we didn't get any injuries, and so if all of a sudden we've got one, we've got to be able to handle it and deal with it.
Is this a little bit more difficult of a next guy up situation, given that you guys don't really have the depth that you might have had last
Well,
year?
yeah, and not so much depth, it's just the youth. The depth last year was Zach, who was a lottery pick, both Zach and Bryce being all freshmen in the Pac-12, and Tony, who was only a sophomore, and yet I felt like those 3 had a lot more experience to them. We don't have a lot of experience on this bench, so they're all learning as they go here. And we had a lot more, I think, maturity even in the starting lineup last year to help that bench. So everybody's kind of growing at the same time, and we just want to see that growth continue, and we're seeing it in our entire bench from Tom to Gigi. Gigi's had a great stretch. Noah's doing the things we need for him to do as far as being a big guard that really works. I thought he was terrific in the Cal game. Those are the things that we got to see that bench continue to develop.
How much can you see the confidence of Gigi start to grow when he's on the court?
He's got great confidence everywhere except the free throw line. His confidence is great. I've told him I said the next free throw, just step back and shoot a 3-point shot. So, but he's so fun to coach. We knew he had a great basketball skill when he got here. That's what we liked about him. His skill set was unbelievable. He can finish right, left-handed. He understands ball fakes, both from shooting and passing. He plays under control. He's going to be a really good stretch forward down the road because you're seeing it already how he can shoot the 3 ball. But he will develop into a dribble drive guy as well. Great passing big man, and we use a lot of our offense changes a little bit when he comes in, and we run through him a lot just because he can really pass the ball. So he's getting bigger and stronger. Wes has done a great job with him over the summer. So as the years go by, he's going to continue to get better and better.
I know when you first saw him, I don't think you guys were there to see him, right? You just saw him watching another guy. That was right?
No, we actually went in to see him, and then obviously saw Prince at the same time. But so that's ironic that all of a sudden then Prince decommits, and we get a chance to get 2 from that same high school. But no, we went down to Sagemont to see him because we know the coach well, and he told us about him, just about an incredible skill set. He's about $195. And that's what Gigi has done a really good job of. He's like 205, 210 now. So I think as we sit here next year, hopefully we got somebody that's 220, and he just continues to work on his strength, and his body will continue to mature because his skill set's tremendous.
How much more comfortable have you seen him get just with the team and all that? Obviously, he hasn't been, in the U.S. for very long.
No, he's been tremendous. I've told Coach Ross, the high school coach, the same thing. He and Tony rival being, the clowns and the jokers on the team. I mean, which I wouldn't have thought of that in the recruiting process because he was very quiet. But the guys would tell you it's hard to get Gigi to be quiet. I mean, he's a very outgoing personality, and this team needs that. I don't say that negatively. The team needs it. He's fun to coach. He's a happy guy. He's got a good demeanor to him, and I like to kid him a little bit just because at the free throw line, if we need for him at least become a 10% foul shooter. So we're just looking for a little bit of growth at the free throw line.
Have you guys gotten any update on Jonah at all? In terms of
we're waiting. Hopefully we get some news here very quickly. He's done everything he was supposed to do, and we're hopeful we're going to get good news here anytime. But we're really waiting on the NCAA to be able to see everything, and hopefully he'll be cleared for practice.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Sure,
Appreciate it.
Likes to slow things down. How do you feel like you guys have gotten better in terms of in the half court and with a slower game?
We're moving the ball. When we move the ball, we get the shots that we want, and we make the defense work. So we know that Oregon State likes the zone a lot. We're going to see a lot of zone this game. So it's really moving the ball, getting into the open areas and finding the open gaps. Like Coach says, we got to find daylight, and we do that, we're going to be able to execute and play our pace.
Clearly getting a win on the road is huge motivation. Do you find any extra motivation? They haven't lost on their home court.
Yeah, it's a big game for us. Coach sat us down yesterday. I talked about our mission for this week and trying to get these 2 wins for us. That's all the motivation I think this team needs. We know how it feels to lose and go on a losing streak, and right now we're on a winning streak, and we want to keep that. So if we go in there focused and determine that to pull out wins, it's going to give us the best possibility to do that.
That's one of the old cliches in sports. Winning changes everything. What have you seen in this 3-game winning streak, how it's changed this team?
A lot more confident from the starters to the bench coming in. The bench is providing a lot of energy, and they're making plays for us when needed. And the starters are playing confident. We're moving the ball. We're playing defense. We're helping one another. We're talking. We're doing all the little things that is needed to win games, and that's why we've been able to get on this winning streak.
Coach was talking about Gigi's personality and how it's kind of come through in the time you guys have had him here. How have you seen him kind of grow?
He's talking more, Gigi was the quiet Hungarian, trying to make jokes, trying to make people laugh, but he's gotten more serious. He's talking. He's outgoing now with the team, and he's trying to find his role, come in, hit the pick and pop 3, get a little deflections here and there, rebounds, be active, and that's really good for us. That's what we need for him to do and develop this team and to make a run. It's his little things that he's doing off the bench that's going to help us and give some of the other big men some rest. So his character right now is really big for this team.
With Tony being day to day with his back spasms, how does that potentially change the offensive game plan if he can't go at Oregon State?
Honestly, it's just next man up. It's not the first time where someone's had to sit out due to injury, and I think that we have the depth in the big man position. Tom's been playing well for us, and it's going to be him to step up if Tony's not able to go. But we all hope and wish that he's prepared come Thursday. But it's always going to be next man up no matter what's happening. When I got hurt in Stanford, and Noah had to come in and play key minutes, or Gigi, whatever it is. And that's what it's going to be. If Tony's not ready, it's always going to be next man up, and we're going to be executing the game plan no matter if he's sitting out or not.
How are your nicks and bruises doing?
I'm good. They're healing up. It's going to happen throughout the season, but I'm able to play, so I'm happy about that.
It seems like Thomas has been more assertive in his last few games. What have you seen from him just in terms of confidence?
His confidence level is really high right now. I'm always telling him to find his area. He can knock down a 17 to 15-foot shot 9 times out of 10. He does it in practice, so it's just getting him in those areas and making it easier for him to make plays and be available on offense. So it does a great job with me, Bryce, and Isaac being able to drive the ball, drop it off to him for easy put-ins and dunks and pick and pop 15-footers. And you saw in the USC game he was able to knock those down, and his confidence just grew as the game went on. So that's really good for him, and that's what we need him to do. We need him to come in and get 4 to 6 points a game and 5 rebounds in the minutes that he's given.
Cool. How do you feel like you guys have gotten better in the half court, especially when you're going up against a team like Oregon State that's probably going to try to slow things down and force you into that?
I think we've been executing better in the half court. Know the offense more. I think Coach just shrunk it up for us so we can get really good at one thing. And I think we're starting to do that. We start back hitting shots. We're getting better ball movement. I think it's just better execution.
Does it change things at all if Tony were not able to go, especially since you guys have been able to kind of dish it into him inside?
I think it will. It should change a little bit. Thomas has been dominant down low the last few games on our win streak. So missing him will be huge, but I think we'll be able to handle it for a few games. We got Tom's really good. I think he come in and fill his shoes.
How have you seen Tom develop throughout the season?
Tom's been really good. He's getting more confident. The game's starting to slow down for him because open gym and practice, he's been great all year. He was just for him to translate it over to the game. In the last few games, he's been doing really good with that. He started hitting his shots. He's starting to finish. He's starting to dunk the ball. He's getting more confident, more aggressive.
You guys obviously had this win streak and then you mission complete and all that. How is it hard at all to kind of get back up, especially after you have a few days off and that sort of thing?
Yeah, when you win 3 games in a row and then you have 8 days off between games, that kind of sucks. You want to just keep playing. You have the momentum on you and you're hot. You want to keep playing. So it's tough, but we're definitely anxious to get back out there.
What have you seen on film with Oregon State?
Crazy good defensive team, which is something that is a little bit scary. Obviously, they play a lot of zone. They mix it up between 2-3 and 3-2, which is something that we haven't seen very much this year. And when we have seen it, we really haven't done a great job against it. So that's something that we've been really working on in this past week.
What is kind of coach prepared you for? This is the first road trip where it's Thursday night game and a Saturday afternoon game. What's been kind of the message from coach with that?
Well, we have a new mission, and that mission is something that we're going to be ready for, and we're trying to go out there and get 2 wins. Going off last year, we didn't have a single trip where we got 2 wins. So it's one of those things where we got to be ready to play, and we got to try to get this first one and keep our momentum going.
What do you have to do to make sure you guys play at the pace you want to play at?
We got to get stops. I think that's our biggest thing, especially getting out in transition and playing against a team that likes the zone. You got to get stops so you can get out and beat their zone down the court so they can't get set up. So getting stops and rebounding is going to be a big key for the game.
How have you seen Gigi kind of just get more comfortable, even with the group among you guys over these past few months?
Yeah, he's never been a quiet kid. He's always been a very outgoing kid. I remember on his visit, he didn't even really speak very good English, but he would never stop talking. Whatever he knew how to say, he would try to say it. So he's been really good about that. And then this team became really close, every single one of us. So he's gotten more comfortable as he's gone along, and I think you can see that with his play, and then just with how he acts. He's been a great teammate so far, and he's been a big asset for us.
So has he brought any Hungarian traditions to the team yet?
Not yet. He's been trying to get us to go to a Hungarian restaurant, but I don't really know about that yet. So we'll see.
You don't seem too excited about it.
No, we'll see. I promised I'd take him after season's over, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Thanks, guys.